Well. We are back once again, guys. Red Rebel Nation, Creek Squad. We have pissed off Psychobabble himself. The guy has came from far beyond and came to, make an hour and 45-minute video of your boy Deuces. So, with that being said, he goes further on to say some other things in this story, in this subject, in this saga, because what are you going to talk about me for an hour and 45 minutes? I don't get that part of, your brain. How your brain reacts, Psychobabble, is unheard of. You are one of the smartest but dumbest people on YouTube platform. And next thing you say, you're going to tell me I have to delete my videos because, I have your face on them. That's what you're next going to come to do. But guess what? We ain't standing for that, boy. Anyways, guys, love yourself, like yourself, be nothing but yourself. Like and subscribe to the channel. It's highly appreciated. Look, guys, I'm out of breath now. Anyways, fix my mic. Look, hour and 45-minute video of me. What are you going to talk about me for? Do you like my colored flames in the background? Is that what you like, Psychobabble? Anyways, guys, let's get right on into it. I'm going to talk through it. I'll pause through it, give my reactions afterwards. We'll talk about it and give my reactions afterwards. But let's get right into the video.
I said, well, then put the pin code on it. There's a feature where you can put a pin on it and then the kid can't change it.
Oh, my God. Psychobabble, are we back on this subject? Why can't you just move forward with your subjects and not look back? Now, what he's talking about here is actually one of my subscribers. She mentioned, having locks on her iPads and phones or whatever about her kid. And Psychobabble took it way out of proportion and ran with it. And now he's talking about porn. Oh my God, porn. Guys, let's continue to see what Psychobabble has to say.
I did, and they found out the pin. Okay, well then you change the pin. Well, I did, and I said, well then you take their device away and say, listen, if you're not going to follow a few simple rules, you can't have the device. But to suggest that all the adults in the world can't do adult stuff because her kid, nonsense.
So, can you explain to us what adult stuff actually is, Psychobabble, in your words, not anyone else's? Continue.
But go ahead, buddy. Let's hear it. With her little lie about her 14-year-old searching.
Look at that. Look at Psychobabble on your left side. I have never seen the guy with his hand on his face. Guys, this is destruction. 100%. Thank you. Creek Squad, Red Rebel Nation, stand up. I've never seen this guy duck his head like that. Anyways, let's continue.
For Thomas to train. No, he wasn't. He was searching for gangbang porn. That's what he was searching for.
And how do you know that? Because he was 14 once? Why don't you go ahead and tell us, Psychobabble? And how do you know that? Like, you're fat. You don't think before you...
How do I know that? Well, I was 14 once. That's how I know that. All my friends were 14 once. That's how I know that. Pornography is a $1 billion a year industry. And Berkeley University did a study of 25,000 samples. Now, for you crack squatters that have low IQ and you don't know what any of that means, okay, here's how they do it. They seek out 25,000 school-age children ranging from 6th grade to 12th grade, okay? And they interview them, asking them, have you ever accessed hardcore pornography? And they're able to respond anonymously, right? So they can be honest. Guess what the percentage was, son? Out of 25,000 6th through 12 interviews, out of 25, this is a Berkeley University study.
Can you please just get to the number? This is boring me.
St. Psychobabble's opinion. How many do you think it was? Would you be shocked to know it was 87%?
And let me ask you this question real quick. Why do we even care about this subject? Are we talking about? So we went from talking about a woman that actually came to you about some differences between your thoughts and her thoughts. And so you downgraded her and belittled her on your stream 100%. And now we're talking about this stuff. Anyways, continue, Psychobabble.
87%. And let me scare you parents a little more. Okay.
Please don't scare us, but go ahead.
They also did a very similar study only with middle schoolers. Okay. That's sixth, seventh, and eighth grade. Sixth, seventh, and eighth grade. Are you sexually active? And it was in the high 80s. I can't remember the exact number on that one, but it was in the very high 80s.
Dang, that's really high, but we still don't give a shit about this subject. So continue.
Because me and my wife were like, holy shit. And I would argue that's because of people like our Thomas the Tank Lady, who they put a device in front of a kid, and that's the babysitter. They put a game console in front of the kid, that's the babysitter. They turn the TV on MTV and BETV, that's the babysitter.
BETV? What is BETV? We don't get what BETV is, but continue.
A lot of parents do that, especially a lot of single mothers. And I'm not dragging, it's just a fucking fact, son.
Okay, well, let me give you my facts real quick. My factuation to this whole situation is you absolutely flipped script, and now we're talking about something that's not even on my video. So you made a video in 1 hour and 45 minutes and did what? Besides call me your son? I'm not your son. Anyways, guys, let's continue.
And they don't check what their kid's doing. They don't have any filters installed on the device. And there are kids from an Xbox 360 that have been tricked in. Here's one that really bothers me. Okay, this one bothers me.
Well, Xbox 360 was like 7 years ago, so continue.
There are girls who have been on Xbox and they're talking to some guy who has this really handsome photo. It's probably not a photo of him, but it's this handsome photo, right?
Sure, I understand that because I get some of them on Instagram and I delete. That's what I do because I get a lot of those, and I don't need to say much. My wife may be watching, but anyways, let's continue.
And he'll start talking to this 13-year-old girl who's just come through puberty and has just figured out boys are cute. And he'll
So wait a minute. So I thought we was talking. Hold on. I thought we was talking about older women. Why are we still stuck on the stuff with sixth graders to eighth graders and younger people? Move on, Psychobabble. Let's continue. You're making this really awkward for my video that you made of me talking about this on my video of 1 hour and 45 minutes. Let's continue.
start talking to her, okay, through Xbox, because mom is too dumb to put
Why does she have to be dumb for?
any filters on. Mom is too dumb to pay attention to what's going on. Mom threw the Xbox in the kid's room and shut the door. Okay. And said, don't bother me.
So now you are referring to the woman being dumb that is actually one of my subscribers. And do you not get that that is 100% mental abuse? Anyways, I don't think you do. So let's continue.
Play your game. So on Xbox, here's this 13-year-old girl, and she's got this handsome guy saying, oh, you are so beautiful. Oh my gosh, you're so good looking. You're the prettiest girl I've ever seen. And here's a young girl who, because of the image kids are fed today, she thinks she has to have big boobs and a big round butt and all that to be relevant, right? And she's looking in the mirror and seeing this average person, what a person really looks like.
Oh my God. Guys, I am sorry, but this is really uncomfortable, psychobabble. So please just continue on with your subject. God.
And that is a very small breast at that age and a flat butt, right? So she's already got a body image issue going on. And this guy's telling her how beautiful she is and how good looking she is and all that. And he convinces her to give him a boob shot, one little boob shot, right? Seems harmless. Then, then,
In the end. In the end. Psychobabble, look. Do you realize just what you talked about and what people's going to say about this now? Now, would you like for me to say that, oh, well, he didn't mean nothing by it, it's just a story? Well, it is just a story, guys, but it is a very uncomfortable story. And if there was a young woman that was actually listening to this story, and I stuttered, I don't really care. But if she was actually listening to this story, don't you think she would be uncomfortable too? But now Psychobabble's response to that would be, well, she shouldn't be listening to this story. Does this make any sense to you? An hour and 45-minute video of me, Deuces, thank you, and talking about this stuff? Aren't you supposed to be talking about what I'm doing wrong? But you have nothing to say that I'm doing wrong, Psychobabble. So let's continue.
then the blackmail starts. So what he will do is he will send her a screen cap of him logged into her Facebook. And he will tell her that if you do not show me more, I'm going to take this picture, this half nude picture you sent me, and I'm going to send it to everybody on your friends list on Facebook.
Oh, so this whole story was about blackmail. Anyways, about young people. I don't get it. Let's continue.
Even your mom and your grandma and your teacher.
My mom?
And this petrifies this girl. She is just absolutely petrified. Who would she go to? Well, she'd be in a lot of trouble if she went to mom and dad, so she just choose it, right?
Hey, Psychobabble, you remember when I was on your panel and you asked me the question, if my mom and my sister, if they was to take my mom and my sister, what would I do? And I said I was neutral. Yeah, that was me, actually, and you probably don't remember that. So, yes, your answer to what you said about you letting people on your panel and being 100% real with it, you're not 100% real with it, bro. You're just not. Anyways, yes, I stuttered again, and I don't really care. Let's continue.
So then she finally complies with this son's a bitch and does a full nude photo for him to shut him up. Only now he's got a full nude photo of
Oh, so now you're saying this to be mad. Okay, I'm getting it. Let's continue.
her to back mirror some more. And it just continues from there. And that has been done to a lot of young girls because of parents like our Thomas the train lady. But you go ahead, son. That's how I know a kid would likely, if they are given a device that has no adult filters on it, there is a very, 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 very high likelihood they are going to view hardcore pornography.
So, I've got a question for you. Why does it have to be hardcore pornography? Do you have something to tell us, Psychobabble? Are you into that stuff? Because let me tell you something. Your story you just told, if my 18-year-old daughter was standing by me, she probably would have been like, Dad, will you please shut this video off? That's what she would have said. And that would have been any other teenager standing by, well, the TV when their parents is listening to YouTube. So are you telling me that we should put parental locks on your videos as well? Does this not make sense to you? Because I think I just proved a hell of a point. Anyways, you're going to try to argue with it, but please don't, because there's no arguing with the situation. Xana May's done said that she did not agree with what you're doing on your panel, and what you're about to say in this later on this video blew my mind. Anyways, our point will be proven once again. Let's continue, guys.
And it will give them a whacked perspective on what is expected from a man, because listen, you young men out there that are listening, you do not have to have an 8-inch penis to satisfy a woman.
Where is this going? What does this have to do with the video that you tagged me in? The only thing you talked about me was about Ronnie Jones saying what he said, and 100% that story you changed 2 times, and everybody knows it. But you're going to go on to say that, well, Ryan Upchurch basically doctored up the version that, well, said what I said. Correct? Anyways, let's continue, guys.
A very, very, very low percentage of men have an 8-inch penis. The average size penis is 5.5 inches. That's the average. Most men are below average.
We do not care.
You don't need a big, massive dong to please a woman. But see, because of
Ladies, I apologize for him right now. I truthfully do, because this has got to be the worst response video I've ever heard. You're gonna tag your boy Deuces in a video, put my name at Bare Bones Reactions, and by the way, I thought you didn't at people or watch people's videos. Anyways, guys, this is comical. It is getting bad. Let's continue.
of this, a lot of young men have body image issues and all that, right along with the girls. Now, you young girls that would be listening to something like this, you do not need massive breasts and a big, huge round butt and big old puffy lips to please a man. It's bullshit. But you see, because these kids have access to this stuff at a very, very young age due to irresponsible parents like our Thomas the Train lady, they get a whacked sense of what being a girl and a boy is and what's expected.
You can tell 100% Psychobabble that, well, you didn't want to make this video. You can tell that. You got off on a whole nother thing now that you didn't want to redo a video, so you left your video as talking about what you're talking about now, which is uncalled for and unnecessary. Do you see the things that you cannot do if you do not bring up Ryan Upchurch's name or Xana May? Do you see your subjects that you fall into now? Just because you wanted to make a response video at Bare Bones Reactions, which is me, and this is your response video to me? It's talking about things that don't even pertain to me, but you got my face on this video? I'm not okay with that. Anyways, guys, let's continue.
Girl, a guy thinks he's supposed to choke a girl with his penis. And a girl thinks she's supposed to be choked by a penis because of what they see on video at a very, very young age when they're very impressionable. So it's just dangerous.
Guys, look, this is 100% disgusting, and that's the reason why I wanted to bring this part of this video to you guys. That way, maybe it would open up more eyes about, well, what this guy is actually about. Look, Psychobabble, if you were going to talk about stuff like this, then maybe you should go to a night show, like midnight. Like, kind of like, your boy Tony Dodge does. I think we got a super chat. That guy, the ones that stares like that. Oh, anyways, that's a war battle scar. Anyways, we're good with that. Anyways, guys, look, this is disgusting. A grown man, 67 years old, talking about stuff like this. It's unheard of, guys. Anyways, let's continue to see what he has to say.
Dangerous behavior all the way around. And our politicians, I'll have you know, both Republican and Democrat, absolutely refuse to make a law forcing pornography providers to have adult verification firewalls. But continue, son. Yeah. He would take his device in his bedroom that has no filter on it, a 14-year-old, and he would look up Bible verses and how to bake a cake. Yeah, we'll go along with your story.
You say something. You see, I've said this before. Anytime you say something that is on film, recorded, it could always be used against you as ammo. So that right there, you don't know for a fact, so don't say it. Think of another thing to say in your, position that you're...
You mean how, like, are you talking about how, like, when you just started your video saying that Ronnie Jones never said his two cousins said they saw Kylie drunk when that was his entire video. That was his entire phone conversation, was sharing with Ichabod that his two cousins had saw Kylie drunk throughout the night. And yet,
And you also said that there was, well, 400 people at that party. Didn't you go on later on to say there was not 400 people at that party? You see, when you say stuff, you've got to speak with absolute, well, excellence. I forgot the word you used, but it's not in my vocabulary because my IQ is low, you see. But what I'm trying to get at with you is, look, we don't care about the talk about porn and all that stuff. You cannot carry on a conversation with your camera without bringing up Ryan Upchurch or, well, Xana May. And if you do, it's got to be some kind of pornography or, well, just out there story about you getting caught at a park with your wife and getting a ticket by a game warden. Do you see what we're getting at? Anyways, guys, let's continue to see what he has to say.
you make a video saying that was never said when that was his whole phone call.
You're in with this cyberbullying stuff. Because it's going to come down to a point where Xana May just says, yes, he's wrong for what he's doing, because she practically said that, but she seemed
That's not what she said. That's not what she said at all. See,
it's not. Well, why don't you go ahead and tell us what she said then, Psychobabble? See, there's a difference between staying calm and getting pissed off, and we can tell that you are pretty shook. You have your head down, your hand on your face, and like, oh my God, I shouldn't have did this. Let's continue.
that's you rearranging. I'll tell you what she said. I can tell you exactly what she said. Okay. She doesn't agree with my method of
Of course, it's kind of like whenever you're older, so it's your way or the highway. That's what you live by, and that's what, well, they was actually talking about as well. But let's continue.
handling bullies. And my method of handling crack squad bullies is to bully them. Her method.
So let me ask you something. What is she fighting against? Isn't it cyberbullying and bullying? But your method to handle Creek Squad is actually to, well, bully them. That's what you just said, right? Should we have to go back on that? Let's go back a little bit and hear this one more time, guys. All right, let's continue.
Republican and Democrat refuse, absolutely refuse to make a law forcing pornography providers to have adult verification firewalls. But continue, son. Yeah. He would take his device in his bedroom that has no filter on it, a 14-year-old, and he would look up Bible verses and how to bake a cake. Yeah, we'll go along with your story.
But you do not know that, so therefore you're getting out an assumption, and an assumption is a thought that, well, has not really been proven. So therefore, you see what you're doing here? You're throwing out assumptions that doesn't belong in places, especially when it comes towards a little kid and a mom that you do not even know. Anyways, let's continue.
Story.
You say something. You see, I've said this before. Anytime you say something that is Psychobabble, are you biting your fingernails? I've never seen you bite your fingernails before. Anyways, let's continue. It's on film, recorded. It could always be used against you as ammo. So that right there, you don't know for a fact, so don't say it. Think of another thing to say in your, position that you're...
You mean how, like, are you talking about how, like, when you just started your video saying that Ronnie Jones never said his two cousins said they saw Kylie drunk when that was his entire video? That was his entire phone conversation, was sharing with Ichabod that his two cousins had saw Kylie drunk throughout the night. And yet you make a video saying that was never said.
So is that all I had to do, was basically just say something that you do not agree with, which he goes on to say in another video, and kind of says it in that video as well, but you just throw off a different word to make it seem like, well, the guy doesn't really say that. Besides, there was older people at the party. Do you see where this can go? Anyways, now we're here, and you have an hour and 45-minute video of me talking about all this gibberish stuff that has nothing to do with me, Creek Squad, nor RedRebel Nation, and nor our YouTube community, which is our family. You see, get off the bullying kick and you wouldn't be that bad of a person, Psychobabble. Anyways, with that being said, let's continue.
when that was his whole phone call.
You're in with the cyberbullying stuff, because it's going to come down to a point where Xana May, Psychobabble, set still. Please set still. Look, it's really not that bad, Psychobabble. Look, I have nothing against you, Psychobabble, as a person, but you as a creator is kind of like putting poison on something, well, that people that, well, respect everybody has to, well, look at every single day. And I will continue to make these videos every single day, and nobody is apologizing for anything. And am I speaking for anybody? I am not, but there's nothing to be apologized for. You've said that you've tried to bully way too long. It's done, it's over. Now I'm getting to see you uncomfortable and squirming in your chair, putting your face on your hand and biting your fingernails. Anyways, I'm loving it, guys. Let's continue. Just says, yes, he's wrong for what he's doing, because she practically said that, but she seemed kind of
That's not what she said. That's not what she said at all. See, that's you rearranging.
Now listen to the way he words this, guys. And if you don't believe me, go watch my video that I made of Xana May on my channel. Let's continue.
Tell you what she said. I can tell you exactly what she said. Okay. She doesn't agree with my method of handling bullies.
Therefore, she thinks that you are bullying. Let's continue.
And my method of handling crack squad bullies is to bully them.
You just said it, Psychobabble. We need to know nothing else. Look, guys, love yourself, like yourself, be nothing but yourself. Like, subscribe to the channel. And if you're going to make an hour and 45 minutes of me, please leave all the other trash out of it and just make it about me. Anyways, guys, salute to Creek Squad, Red Rebel Nation. I love you guys. YouTube family, I love you guys too. Your boy Deuce is out. Thank you guys. Have a good one.